You have stuff on your lip. Let me see, weirdo.
Is it gone?
I think so.
Ow.
Ow.
That one stinged.
Stinged?
Stinged.
Stinged. So, we just had lunch.
Some of
And
us
I
had
had
liquid
me.
lunch.
I had a little bit of a drink that I know that Long Island iced teas don't sit well with me.
Well, I think you might have to revisit that experiment because we were done eating and then you still had like that much left in your glass, which then you drank it
Super fast.
super quick.
Well, we needed to come and do our business.
Yes. Well, I don't know if it's the tea that doesn't sit with you or the fact that you
Drank it so
chugged
fast?
through
Yeah.
a straw. Yeah.
I can't remember if I've ever had a Long Island iced tea before.
I can't
Have you ever
remember.
known me to have one?
Not that I can remember, no.
It's usually fruitier stuff.
Well, I mean, it tasted okay. It
Yeah, but it's
wasn't,
not fruity.
to me, it was like a lemony. This one, you guys should have tried it, but it was like a, you know me, I love some lemon. So this was kind of like a citrusy
No.
feel to it.
Mm.
I was going to say something else, but I forget now. So,
All right.
oh
then.
well.
That's how our episode's going to go.
Yes. So, welcome back to another episode of the Unlikely Podcasters. I am Sunshine.
I am Susanna.
I am Tara.
I am Tara. When you produce this one, make sure you put little thumb up bubbles by me.
You like the Fallout, the Pip Boy?
Yeah.
I am Tara.
All right. Tutti Fruities.
I'm not acknowledging you.
You're not?
No.
But I think is a perfect segue into today's episode. Tutti Fruities.
Fuck you.
So, we're going to talk about pet peeves. And one of Tara's pet peeves.
It's when people say stupid shit.
That's very vague and broad
Right.
statement.
I'm referring to
You're
my wife.
aggravated a lot. Oh, okay.
Why does Tutti Frutti lemon drop lollipops? Why does it aggravate you so?
I don't know. It's just so...
I think this actually dives back into the days when we first met. And
Is it?
I was too sunshiny for you. No?
No, you were the opposite.
I was not. You're lying. Give me an example.
The first time I remember encountering you,
Encountering.
you worked the front counter.
At McDonald's.
No,
ladies
you were
and
doing the
gentlemen.
drive-through, so you would come and get the... This is when McDonald's, you made things fresh. You didn't keep a meat in
Way back in
the
the day.
meat container. We made it for each whatever. So she was doing not the part where you pay, but the part where you pick up your food. So those people are in charge of going and picking up the burgers, getting the fries, getting the drinks, all that stuff. So I guess one of the whatever items was out. And she's like, I need a blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I have to make the blah, blah, blah. I don't know. It seemed mere seconds later. What's going on with that blah, blah, blah? And I turned to my friend and I said, what the fuck does bitch just say to me? He's like, it's okay, Tara. Calm down. I said, she says that one more time. I'm going to throw that blah, blah, blah in her face.
I was completely oblivious.
Yeah. So that was my first encounter with you. Plus, I knew people who knew you through, and they were always like, oh, that's Sunshine Girl. She's always crying. I swear to God.
That is a lie.
They said you were somebody said something in class. She just starts crying in the middle of class.
Class? What class?
You were in high school with one of them.
I never cried in class.
I'm just telling you what they told me. So
was
they
this
didn't
bitch?
like you.
Who was this motherfucker?
was
Dude or girl?
It was, I'll name them because we're probably never going to, but it was Susan. And then she was friends.
Susan was way older than
I'm
us.
not done talking.
Okay.
Pet peeve number 2. So she was friends with Michelle and she went to school with you at the same time.
Michelle was a big fat liar. I never cried
Well,
at school.
anyway, her and Susan didn't like you, and I was friends with them and Susan. And then you were all, I need my blah, blah, blah. So that was it. I was like, all right, I don't like that sunshine, bitch. And my friend, I guess you guys had been out a couple times. You guys were gone to a club. He's like, she's okay. I said,
yeah,
well.
I'm okay.
I said, well, as of right now, she's not okay.
And look at us 30 years later. Look at this fucker following me around,
Yeah.
riding my motherfucking coattails.
Let's go. Let's link the last for you where she says how she's going to stalk me if I leave her.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I remember that.
Do you remember? And
Yes, I did.
Suzanne's like, why are you so creepy?
I said I was going to stalk you?
Well, you were like, we were talking about the celebrities, about how,
Oh.
about people are like really into them. And you're like, I'm that way about you.
Yeah.
And you said, just try and leave me. Yeah. I was like, got a little shiver.
I'm pretty sure you would stalk me.
I'm pretty sure I wouldn't.
It depends. If I just left you, it depends on if I hurt your feelings. And you, then, ladies and gentlemen,
vindictive.
Tara is a very vindictive person. Very.
I might stalk you, but it would be not the kind of stalking you want.
I don't think anybody wants stalking. Let's clear that up.
Well, it wouldn't be like, I love you, please come back to me kind of stalking.
I will never come back to you.
Yeah, you're right. You wouldn't, because I'd be fucking your ass up. You done do me wrong. I'll get my own little teardrop right there.
My goodness.
Oh, Susanna. Look what you did.
Listen, you picked her.
You did.
I did.
By the time I met you, you're just like a package deal already. What do you want me to do?
So, what was the second pet peeve, motherfucker?
Interrupting.
Oh.
Motherfucker.
That was on my list.
Interrupting cow.
Not
Moo.
Cow.
necessarily.
Who's cow? Wait, why are you mooing her?
It's like that.
That's a, yeah,
It's a
I know.
joke.
Oh, interrupting
Interrupting
cow
cow.
moo.
Yeah.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting cow.
Right, there you go.
I never heard that in my life.
We should not have drinks before we do the podcast.
Now, what were you going to say about pet peeves?
Oh, it's not necessarily interrupting. It's when we're having a dialogue and you do at some point, but then you just keep going and keep going. And I never get to finish my thought because you've now taken over the conversation.
Yeah.
That is like, like, can we have a dialogue? You know?
Or, which was on my list, when some people, yes, it goes along with what you're saying, but then they never let that part of the conversation die.
Yo, yes.
Or just keep going and keep going.
Circling back to it no matter what.
No matter what. You're always
You
coming
need to
right back.
follow the flow of conversation. We were talking about that, but now we are not.
Moved on.
And then this person's just like, I'm bringing it back.
That's right.
Bringing the conversation back.
I think you should shimmy.
I've already shimmied once. today.
Twice. One on the last episode and one on this episode.
Did I just shimmy?
Just now.
Was that
We're
shimmying?
bringing it
Oh,
back.
to me, that was a.
This is shimmying.
Well, yeah,
I
well,
guess
that was
that's
a more.
Yeah, this is a sway.
All right.
Okay.
So, what other? So I'll start.
Okay, great.
And I can't quite remember. I know you have a good point about this, but I couldn't for the life of me. So let's back this up.
Good, because we don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, finish your thought.
Okay. This is the second time we're doing this episode because the first time we had to scrap. But when we did this the first time, I brought this part of the pet peeves up and you had a very good counter or whatever. So hopefully you will remember.
If you would ever spit out the pet peeve,
I'm
I could let
gonna
you know.
get to
Okay.
it, shitbird. All right. So when you go to restaurants, one of my pet peeves, a big pet peeve, is when people play videos, and oftentimes it's children, play videos for the entire restaurant to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me preface this by saying I am not talking about the times where, let's say, the family is getting together, a group of people are getting together, and you're like, oh my gosh, check out this video I just saw. That's not what I'm talking about. Or check out my son playing a piano. That's not what I'm talking about. But the last time we taped this, we had just went to Carrabba's,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a family, and they were sitting off to the side, and they literally, all of them, gathered around this phone and watched video after video after, and they would swipe. So you could tell that they were watching videos, and they were a good 20 or 30 feet from us, but we heard every single word. Now tell me why that is necessary.
It's not.
It is not.
No necesito.
No.
No necesito.
Not necessary.
No es necesario.
Oh.
It's not necessary.
Yeah,
What is no
necessary.
necesito?
I don't need.
I don't need that.
Okay. Muy bien.
So it is, in my opinion, it is inconsiderate of your fellow man / woman to play those things for the entire room to hear. It in a restaurant setting, it's unnecessary.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
You had a devil's advocate situation. Do you
did.
recall?
I was just arguing.
Yes.
You were saying something about if they kept the volume kind of low.
Yes, if that person didn't have a headset, like I know I've done this, but I usually had, Darcy turn it down where only really she could hear it, because even I couldn't hear it at the table. So if you have supersonic hearing, that's not my problem, because you're still in a restaurant and it's still loud.
Yes, but
We're not in like a fine dining establishment where you expect a certain level of, hey, I can hear my conversation. It's quiet, it's subdued, it's romantic, it's whatever you want it to
Right.
be. Right? That's different. This is Carrabba's.
mm-hmm.
You have the kitchen wide open. You hear them banging pans and doing shit. Yes. Do I think the volume should be at the level that the whole restaurant can hear it? No.
Right. And that's my point.
Yes.
So even if you don't necessarily have to have supersonic hearing, but if I'm in the table next to you, if I hear, I hear. And so it's just, I think it's rude. And so,
So I think what I said is that is the equivalent to before cell phones were made of just lugging in a TV set, plopping it on the table,
Oh, yes, you did make
and or a radio, and just say, okay, I'm just going to listen to this radio. I'm just going to watch my TV.
Yes.
It's just, but that would never cross your mind, even if you had kids back then. I need to get a TV I can lug around so my kids can watch it while we're eating dinner.
mm-hmm.
But now we just accept it as because it's small.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's portable. Yes.
Listen, Asher played on an iPad
Mhm.
and my phone when we were in restaurants, and I purposefully would either make sure he had a headset, and I don't even think back then we gave him a headset. So we purposefully made him do things on the iPad that was
Mhm.
soundless.
Or it was super, super low.
Yeah.
Like we could barely hear it.
Because you really don't know what your fellow patron, their hearing level, and it's not on them to reduce their hearing because your kid decided that they
No.
want to hear some shit.
I just think, to expect no noise, it's all too much.
Well, I think if you have kids in general, there's going to be a noise, but that's an added noise that is, I mean, many a kid has went to dinner prior to having a cell phone. They can make it through without it.
They can.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like it's a necessity. It's not like it's just something we become accustomed to and it's easier to distract them. But for decades prior,
Yep.
they sat at the table and they ate without a phone.
And then it also kind of goes along with like your sister. She mentioned, this is Brian, by the way. We asked her permission. She allows us to say her name.
So now we can call her out with her name.
That's true. But well, she said she don't care. So she will go to dinner by herself and she will FaceTime someone, which I have no problem with, except that she FaceTimes them on speaker.
Hmm.
And to me, and so she's like, that's no different than having a person in front of you. But it is 100% different because what comes out of a speaker is echoed, or especially if you have it sitting, if any of you are at home or you're driving, take your phone and stick it in your cup holder in your car. It's going to be much louder. It echoes and comes up out of the
bounces
speaker.
off the surface
Yes,
and-
there you go.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And so when I tried to explain, I said, no, it is different. That speaker is way different than the communication that we have right now. Right now, if I were to call somebody and we would have them on speaker, it would come through and sound differently to everyone here as well as people out there.
Mm-hmm. If you know you're going to go to a restaurant and you're going to get on the phone, before you leave the house, make sure you have a headset.
Plus, I think if you can't hear, right? And I got to
you're
imagine
yelling.
if I'm on the phone, then you also get louder as a
Mhm.
You're right.
response.
You're right.
So now it's like this whole screaming match over
Mhm.
there, even though it's a conversation. To everybody else, they're like, they're a little loud.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can't tune them out. And sometimes you're like,
Ooh, what are they saying? Yes, I agree.
You'll just see the face go.
Yeah, why do we move our eyes like that?
I don't know.
Off, like when I'm on a Zoom call and I can't, if the person's not there, my eyes wander and I don't know why. I can see a picture of them. I know I'm talking to them, but automatically my eyes go like this, like what's happening? And I can have a full-on conversation because my eyes go somewhere else. Why is that? Just like you just did. Why do you look confused?
I don't have to pay
when
attention.
you're listening to something, you tend to like you look or whatever, but you're talking to a
Person,
person,
but I can't see them.
right? So you're talking to them and you're like, hello, how you doing? Everything okay? What? I mean, I don't understand what
Well,
you're
it's
doing.
not that like
I don't
that, but like if they're in the middle of telling me something, just like if you're listening at a restaurant and you can't see the people behind you,
Yeah.
your eyes just automatically. I don't know why. That's how That's how you
It's like
focus.
they can help you here.
Yes, exactly. It's
I
like
would
it's helping you.
say on my job, 98% of the time, I cannot see anyone. But I don't find, I will totally do other things while I'm talking to them. But if I'm just sitting there talking to them, I'm not like, hey, how you doing? Is everything? Yeah, oh, yeah, that's great. Okay, cool. No, I look at the software or my computer.
I don't.
My
Always.
eyes aren't darting
Sometimes
around.
my eyes do what you just did a moment ago in a restaurant when you can't see the people you're listening
Yeah.
to.
Oh, so how's it going? Oh, yeah. Okay, that's cool. That's weird. You're an odd little woman.
No, that's what happened. Oh, you called me little. Thanks.
Oh, so cute.
So then that brings me to speakerphones. What do you think about that? Well, we know your lovely father-in-law, my father-in-law, your stepfather.
Sure.
He loves.
We're
to
gonna
be-
concumps him into
That's
all
right.
one
We're
thing.
gonna concumps him. Well, he just loves to be on the speakerphone.
He does.
For everybody and their grandma to hear.
I'm not a fan of speakerphones.
In general, like say that he came over and he was being, it doesn't bother me one bit. But if we're in a restaurant, if we're standing in line somewhere, if
A movie theater.
that's him, that bitch.
Hello?
Hello?
No, I'm in the movies. I'll call you back.
Yeah.
Not even, hey, I'm in a movie. I'll call you back later. Whole movie theater's like, okay.
Yeah. Yes, when we went to the movies with your mother and him,
Yeah.
they literally have a full-on conversation.
What?
You want some popcorn?
No, I'm good.
Yep.
What'd he say?
I don't know. I didn't hear it either. Ask her what he say.
Oh, this shit's stupid.
Next thing you know, one of them snoring.
Yep.
Ridiculous. No consideration for the people that have paid for this experience.
Which is also a pet peeve. People who talk in the movies.
Yes.
It's really aggravating.
Yes, we stopped going for a long time because of that.
I couldn't take it anymore. And I was, at some point, we're going to get into a fight because she's always, shh, shh. And you're going to shush the wrong one. Next thing you know, I'm going to come walking up the steps on you. I'm like, oh, jeez.
Well, I just don't understand. It costs money. Just like when I'm eating in a restaurant, I don't want to be bombarded by your conversation. I don't want to be, my movie going experience is ruined by someone else eating a full-on meal in the fucking theater. What happened?
This young gentleman came in and sat down with his friend. Lights go off. Movie starts. Full on Burger King Whopper. It was real
this
because
really
it was very potent smell of Burger
Oh, yeah,
King
that
right
too.
next to me. Yeah.
Listen, you're too quiet over there acting like you're above all this shit. I just want you to know. Like, fucking say something.
I will let a lot of shit go.
Yes.
Yeah.
I tend to have more tolerance than you do,
Sort of.
especially when it comes to noise.
Yes.
Sort of.
You are easily
Yes.
aggravated.
Yes.
Noise.
I'm aggravated easily by other things. Yes, but what we're talking about right now.
No, that's not what I mean. So what I mean is you will let it go for a long, where I will jump on it quickly to get the sound to go away, whatever it might be. However, you will let it go and then you about chop somebody's motherfucking head off. Like, so just so you know, all of this aggravates her as well. She just has a much higher tolerance for it, meaning, example's sake, it might take me 5 minutes to say something. She will be just as aggravated. However, it will take her 30 minutes to say something. But when I say it, I'm like, can you please stop that? Sometimes with an attitude, can you please stop?
Sometimes.
When it gets to Suzanne, she's like, will you fucking stop it?
Wow.
So
She had an aneurysm. That vein's going to pop out right there.
So she goes from 0 to 60. It takes her a long time to get there, but she's at full on 60. Her gas is way down. Yes.
It depends, because say it's the movie theater and the movie's almost over. I don't care. We're going to leave. It is what it is. I'm probably not going to explode on that person.
Yeah.
And I don't walk around exploding on people. Okay. I just don't.
Hmm.
My God.
We should get some of these
Plus,
people in here.
if at that point, if we're together and you've already said it twice, yeah, by the time I say it 30 minutes, I'm like, motherfucker, she already told you twice. So let me just jump in.
In all honesty, Susanna doesn't blow up at strangers.
I do not.
We get the privilege of that, Susanna.
It's because you're my safe space. That
That's
means
right.
I love you and I love you. And that's how it is.
That's
Anyway.
Oh, and so side note, I wanted to refer to the definition of a pet peeve.
Okay.
So technically, it's just something that annoys someone. So what I think is an interesting pose on that is, or alternative to that is, if two people do the same thing, but it only annoys you when one of them does it, is that still a pet peeve? Can you have a pet peeve pertaining to one
Specific person? I mean, I guess if that person does it and it's bothering you, that would be a pet peeve.
Like one of my pet peeves with you is that you leave the lid open on many things, which is very fucking annoying.
Well, who else is that going to bother you?
So if I go to Susanna's house and I could care less.
Right, because you're in Susanna's house and she can do whatever she wants.
But even if she came here, it wouldn't bother me.
If Susanna were to move in and then all of a sudden lids are not going to be closed, then you're going to be pissed at Susanna.
That's true. But I'm just saying, as it stands right now, you and I, we all could have gotten the milk. You left the milk lid open or not screwed on.
Just because you and I have a history with that. You do not have a history with Susanna. Yes.
But
you and I have had many a row about the lid being left off.
Yeah, because you're a dumbass.
Okay.
In relationships, especially spouses, people you live with, those things tend to build. So it's something that maybe initially you could have ignored. It just builds on, and then it becomes a thing. I'm not a lid person. Poor Mark.
Exactly.
Because he's picked up shit and it's just gone everywhere.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I thought I closed it. Clearly not.
Clearly. Yeah. All right. What about know-it-alls or one-uppers?
Oh.
Do you know what that means?
Yes, I know what that means.
What's a one-upper then, motherfucker?
Oh, look, I got this new ring today. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Oh, look at this ring I got. This one's got bigger and it's better and blah, blah, blah. That's what I think a one-upper is.
It is.
Did I pass the test?
You did.
Okay, great.
Well, we just need to explain it for our listeners.
Oh, not a fan of them either.
I don't think it's a pet peeve for me. It's
a personality trait that I don't like.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's a perfect way to describe it.
What about shit talkers?
What do you mean?
Oh, so your people lost yesterday. Ha
ha. Oh, yeah.
Ha, ha.
I don't know if I would classify it as a
or
pet
if like
peeve.
if you guys are playing a game and they're like,
oh,
yeah.
Oh, that doesn't bother me.
No?
Mm-mm. But I don't like it. It kind of goes along with that celebrity thing that we talked about before, but I don't like it when people, for those out there, I am an Eagles fan, Philadelphia Eagles. And I don't like it when people come at me about the Philadelphia Eagles because I don't come at anyone else. So I feel like it's unwarranted. Mm-hmm. And I'm not a Philadelphia fucking Eagle. I do not play on the game. No.
You're not on the team?
I'm not on the team. So like, why are you coming at me for what? I mean, I don't get that.
I don't either. I also think that's a personality trait that needs to be worked on. The only time I can ever kind of see that is if like MMA fighters, right? They talk shit to each other all throughout prior to.
Because you're psyching them out.
Right.
Yes.
Because you're going to get in the ring and you're going to literally beat the shit out of each other. Mm-hmm. So if you could get into somebody's head, great. But if you're some motherfucker who sits on the couch, watches your team play and they win or lose, you have nothing going on. You are not affecting their outcome of that game in any way. So I think you have no room to talk about, oh, we did this. There's no we.
Yeah.
When you say it, there is no we.
That's right.
You're just some Billy Bob Joe sitting on the couch, drinking a beer, screaming at the TV.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people
the we
do that.
who are actually doing it.
That's right.
But it's part of the game.
Is it though?
It is. I think for a lot of people it is. But to your point, I think that you should read the room. Mm-hmm. And if that person isn't a shit talker, then you should just fucking let it go.
Yeah.
And go shit talk with your
Somebody
buddies
else
that do shit talk.
talk.
Yes. And I think that's fine because I think they thrive on putting each other's teams down and their stats and quoting whatever it is that they do, right? Because I don't have a team at all. So, but I get it. I think it's part of the dynamic. It's part of how they poke fun at each other and whatever it is. It's part of that. But if you're with somebody that doesn't do that,
Mm-hmm.
then don't talk shit. Move on to somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Although it does feel good if that person is shit talking
And then they lose.
and then they lose. That's like, oh yeah. But I still don't say anything.
yeah.
I just keep it to myself.
In
Or I
your
tell
mind.
you.
Yeah.
But what about know-it-alls? People that think they know everything or kind of act like they do.
I don't know that it's a pet peeve of mine. It's not something I enjoy being around.
Maybe a little.
A pet peeve or just aggravating?
Both.
Mm.
It depends on the person too. Some are,
The way in which they know
yes,
it all.
they relay their information that you're just like, yeah. And those I probably steer away more than the ones that are a little more or a little more, subtle about how they
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
deliver their information, all their knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah. How they drop that on your plate.
Yeah.
Some people just know a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll just say, oh, well, did you know? Blah, blah, blah. And then there's other people. I think it's the air about which they...
Yes.
They're like, oh, hey, did you know? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. It's like, well, did you know? And then that's the whole, it's like, I don't care anymore what you're going to say. Just right then, you can just stop it.
Or you can keep going, but I have tuned you out.
That's right.
At that point, it's in one ear, out the other.
Whatever
So
your
you lost
fact
me.
is, I'm not
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about replying all to an email or text? Well, text, I think you have to. I don't think
yeah,
you
it's
can
a
get
group
out
chat.
of it, right?
Yeah, unless you remove yourself.
Reply all means that there's more than one person.
Yes.
Mhm.
I
So I think there's
I get
actually-
away with many times not replying all.
You what?
You made it sound like you have to reply all.
No. What I'm saying,
I
so
don't
there it's
understand
actually
what's
two.
happening.
What, motherfucker?
I don't understand what we're talking about.
Okay, I'm about to explain. It's
Okay.
actually two separate things. So
okay.
one is you get this mass email
Yes.
and it's sent to everyone in the organization.
Mm-hmm.
And then perhaps it was, hey, congratulate so-and-so. And then everybody hits reply all. So you get all of those responses 8 million times, blah, blah, blah.
I dislike that.
Is it a pet peeve?
Yes. Because I will get CC'd on something. It will be a conversation that two other people are having.
Has
And
nothing
then-
to do with you.
It has nothing to do with me. So I will go through and look all of it. And I'm like, I have no idea why I'm CC'd on this email because I don't care about anything. So what happens is half the time I just don't read it.
Mm.
If I get into a situation, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I should go back to the email. But most of the times that does not happen.
Maybe it's not the first person who does it, because let's just say they're unaware.
Yeah.
It's everybody who follows up and says, please stop replying to all.
that's
Because
a good
those
one.
fuckers are replying to all. What do you...
Yes.
Send an email to that person and say, hey, no need to reply to all. If it really bugs you that much.
Well,
But now
so-
you have a chain of 20 people replying to all, telling you not to reply to all.
Well, but I think so if you have 20 people and one person replied to all, so you need to reply all to tell all the people at one time for all the other people. So if you just reply to that person, they've already replied to all.
That's true.
So you're hoping to get ahead of all the other ones by saying don't reply to all.
In my experience, that only makes the problem worse. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah. Try to head it off.
And I would like to think that's the thought process that goes through people's mind, but no, because it's like 2 seconds later. They didn't think about it. They just replied to all and say, please stop replying to all.
And sometimes they will CC me and then send me an IM. Hey, did you see the email? Asshole, I saw the email.
Speaking of it, my biggest was when they copied somebody, and I'm like, oh, we're copying people now? You're copying my boss? We're going down this road? Oh, it's on. You have thrown down the gauntlet, sir.
See, for
We
me,
gonna fight. Meet me in the lunchroom.
all right. This kind of goes with closing lids, in my opinion. And some people try to push this off about, oh, it's just OCD. No, putting shit back where it motherfucking goes. Hurrah. You know
What do I know?
that you don't put shit back where it goes.
I put some things back where it goes.
Or
Or where I think
Where-
it should go.
oh, really? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When stuff gets put on the counter and then somehow it becomes a pile in the laundry room.
Well, let's talk about that. then.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Why is
Sweet pea.
why is there a pile on the counter?
I don't know.
Because it doesn't go on the counter either.
You're right.
If captain of the ship over here is not around, and I'm trying to tidy up, it's going to go in a space where I'm not going to look at it because I don't want to look at it.
Instead of putting it where it goes.
I don't know where it goes, or I don't know where it is that you want it. I can put it where I think it goes. A lot of times that's the trash, which is also a big no-no. So instead of putting it in the trash, I would put it in an area where you could sift through it and decide if you wanted to trash it or not.
Really? That's what we're going with here?
That's facts.
It is not facts.
It's lots of facts.
No. No. You could easily put something back where it goes instead of just shifting it from one wrong place to another wrong place.
I would rather it be in a wrong place where I can't see it than in a wrong place where I can. So if I have an option, I'm going to put it in the wrong place where I can't see it.
But why don't you just put it away?
I don't know where the away is. It's a mystery location to me.
It's not a mystery location.
Obviously, I don't know where it goes. Sometimes there are things on the counter and I'm like, I don't know where that goes.
So why don't you open your little mouth and say,
you're not here, so I can open my little mouth.
guess what? I got a telephone.
Do you know where this goes?
Hey, no, Sunshine, where does this go?
I just put it in the room and then you know that the room.
No, I don't. Sometimes I don't know. And all of a sudden I see piles of shit.
There hasn't been piles of shit
in
the laundry room in a long time.
In the laundry room, yes. But in Florida, yes. You would just put it right in the closet for some reason.
And you knew that that's where it went.
That's not where it goes. That's where Tara puts it.
This was mostly mail. So we would have a big old stack of mail on the bar and I did not like it. The bar in the kitchen.
Yes.
I did not like it. And a lot of that mail to me was shit mail. I would have thrown it away, or things that I would have thrown away. But instead we had a little Harry Potter closet under the stairs. So I would put them in there. And then that way, whenever she was ready to go through the stack of mail.
Oh, bull.
Stack of mail.
Bullshit.
She could just go in there and get it and throw it away or keep it whatever you wanted. That's truth. Those are truths.
No, they're not truths.
They are.
No.
You live in a parallel universe. My pet peeve is this conversation.
Nana?
What?
The laundry. You know where laundry goes. How does it end up at the end of our bench?
Because we're messy fuckers.
No.
Your laundry is there. My laundry is there.
No.
Oh. I'm gonna run up and I'm gonna take a picture. I'm gonna post it in this fucking episode.
You know where laundry goes.
Yeah, and your laundry is there too.
I'm saying both of our laundries are there.
Okay, so then you're asking like I'm the only one who doesn't know where the laundry goes.
No,
you know
what
where it
I'm
goes,
saying is instead of putting it there, why don't you put it away?
Same reason you don't. We're fucking lazy. Listen, you can't call me out on the shit that yours is there too. You have laundry on that bench. I have laundry on that bench. We both know where the laundry goes, yet it's on the bench.
But why don't you put the laundry away?
Because I didn't want to. Why didn't you put the laundry away? Hello?
Mine tends to be where if you're working on a project or you take tools. So something that came from not your immediate vicinity, right? So mine tends to be like, okay, well, you took the tool, the hammer, the screwdriver, all of this and then you left them all there.
Mm-hmm.
That aggravates me. It's like, just, you're done?
Put it away.
Put it away. Especially because those are tools and stuff, right? So those need to go in a whole separate room. Just if you bring them back, then take them back. Because then they'll just sit there. It's like, did you put the tools away? No, 2 weeks later, the hammer's still there. It's like, that does tend to be a pet peeve. But otherwise, the little stuff every now and then, but it's not a huge pet peeve for me. Well, I did think about my biggest pet peeve.
Which is?
When you walk by something and you walk by it. You either have to walk over it or you have to walk around it, but you will fucking leave it there. I'm like, are you shitting me right now?
You see those videos where the wives will put a $20 bill under a piece of paper, and she just sits there and waits to see the children or the husband, somebody pick it up, and it will sit there for a day or two. And then finally she'll say, if you would have just picked this up, you could have gotten a $20 bill. So yes, that is a pet peeve. What about
after you read what you're going to say, then look up and what about? Otherwise, you're going to be looking down like she was all the time.
What about over?
She had a moment there. It's like she glitched. What about?
What about overgeneralizing? I think I was telling you about this recently.
That bothers you way more than it bothers me. Like, oh, everybody says, all my friends say, everybody says, well, who's everybody?
Yeah.
Like 2 people is everybody.
Yeah. Especially at
When you have someone who is saying, oh, well, everybody's saying, well, who is everybody? So it's everybody within your friend group who most of the time is very similar thoughts to you. So this small circle of people think this, but then there's probably a much larger circle outside of that group that may not think that.
So again, you have to quantify who is everybody.
Yeah. But again, that doesn't bother me nearly as much as it bothers you.
What about being late?
No.
I think I'm pretty sure I was born late. I'm late to everything.
I'm always on time. I almost had it going. I thought I could keep a straight face.
The only time that it would bother me is if you had something very specific planned.
Prize party or something.
Yes. Or if, okay, we're eating dinner at this time. And then someone shows up 30 minutes later. I am of the mindset at this point, this is the time we are going to eat. You know the time. You're going to either be there at the time, but I'm not going to wait 30 minutes for one person to come. You just eat when you get there. Mm-hmm. I'm not, otherwise, wow. Fucking asshole.
What about cracking knuckles?
Don't care. And you're an excessive knuckle cracker, then that may be annoying. But if just, everyone just normal, no, I don't care.
I worked with a person. We were in his cubicles, and he sat in the cubicle next to the cubicle right next to mine, and there was a panel behind us, and he did.
Oh yeah, that
all
I
day.
hate that noise. It's disgusting.
All day. I actually looked forward to going to a meeting. I was like, ooh, I got 5 meetings today. I don't have to sit here and listen to that all day. I was just like, how can you function?
This one here blows bubbles, but then keeps them in her mouth. So she'll blow the bubble, suck it back in her mouth,
and then
I've done that. And I'm like, I don't like that sound a lot.
Why?
That it's super annoying to me when you do that.
Sunshine has a low threshold for repetitive noise.
Noises in general.
Noises in general, yeah.
But that sound, like a firecracker going off in your mouth,
Yes,
is
some
totally
of those can get
okay.
very loud. Yeah, that is surprising.
Yeah.
But maybe it's because you're making it, so you're like,
Maybe,
you
yeah.
don't notice.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I annoy myself. Sometimes I'm like, why do you have to make that noise? That's annoying.
It is, yeah.
I think I'm having a hot flash.
You look a little, well, you got a jacket on.
No, this is different. Look, I'm
Yeah,
sweating.
it just came all of a sudden.
Yeah, I just all of a sudden she's glistening.
Yeah.
Is it an alcohol withdrawal?
I don't know, but I need a...
Do you need to leave the room? Go get cooled
No.
off? No?
You sure?
We're going to take a brief interlude while she goes through menopause.
Yeah.
One of my, at least it'll get you a dirty look, is if I'm watching a show or if I'm reading a book and you are constantly interrupting or talking at me when I'm clearly trying to watch a show,
Yeah.
for example.
That is a pet peeve.
Telling me all about the story or why the story sucks or why, hey, did you know he's 52 years old now and that this actress is in this? I'm like, no, I want to watch the show.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be entertained. I want to immerse myself. And God knows y'all know I immerse myself.
Yeah.
Because, but if you're constantly interrupting the night, if I have to pause it, and thank God for pause. Right?
Oh, I know,
Because when
yeah.
you couldn't, I'm like, I just missed 15 minutes of this fucking episode and I can't do anything about it. How about you, Tara?
Well, I think we covered most of them when she asked. I think the other one is being reminded to do things.
Oh. Sunshine's rolling her eyes.
For some reason, it just pushes a button in me. And I understand that sometimes my lovely wife is just trying to be helpful. But
it has been proven.
I know, and sometimes I forget things. Doesn't matter.
Even when I
don't
remind
care.
you.
I'm aware.
and you get angry.
Yes.
And then the time passes and I'm like, hey, did you do that? Oh, no, I forgot.
Yes, that's 100% true. Nonetheless, the minute the words "did you" come out of her mouth, yes, or "oh, I forgot." So that's the "did you." If I did it, then I'm pissed. Yes. If I didn't do it, oh, I forgot.
Yeah, you're right.
That's how that works. But that is a pet peeve. I don't like it. That's all I can think of, really, other than what we've already discussed. That I can.
I'm trying to hold it together.
Do you want to just go into okay? Peaches and Herb.
All right, so we're going to wrap this episode up. Sunshine is currently indisposed. Slight little hot flash.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. And we've bitched enough. Let us know what your pet peeves are. Reach out to us on socials. Give us a like, follow, and let us know what you think. We're always looking for feedback and different opinions.
Peace out, bitches.
Adios.
Bye. Vanilla pudding.
No, shit birdies.
Shit birdies.
Peace out, shit birdies.
Okay.